times.
Uh-huh.
You go to a bachelor party, and in the restaurant portion of the night, they say, as part of the appetizers, we'll have some of that bone marrow. And then what they bring out is an actual bone, but it's like sliced in half. And then you scoop the marrow out and you eat it.
Yeah. Then you get the shirt that says, I hate the bone. Right? No?
No.
This only happens at bachelor parties?
I mean, it only happened to me at a bachelor party. Nobody has ever pressured me
This is
to
a
eat bone marrow
pretty
before.
wild bachelor party, Tim.
It was. Then we were supposed to go see a comedy show, but we were too late, so we didn't do anything.
What does bone marrow look like?
The way, like, they prepared it, I think, because it was
I
like
would
all,
hope so.
Yeah, it was all like brown and cooked.
Okay.
And I didn't want to eat it because it's gross. Because I don't want to
Right.
eat bone marrow.
All right, at least take it out of the bone for me.
Yeah, but no. I mean, they had like spoons and stuff that you could spoon it out with.
Mm-hmm. It was that. How thick was all this? The bone marrow. It was thick enough to get a spoon in there.
Yeah, a little bit of a spoon.
Like a teaspoon, like a little.
Probably, I would
Okay.
say about that.
Caviar
I don't remember
spoon?
it that much. It was probably about 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, and then everybody calls you a coward and a wuss. But if you're like, hey, I haven't eaten meat, I haven't eaten an animal product in X amount of years or whatever, they'll lay off. They'll be like, well, we can't expect you to just eat marrow right now.
Yeah. Tim, well, it sounds like those boys aren't your real friends if they're picking on you like that.
They're not my real friends. I learned that one of them, the groom.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call the groom before the groom? Before he's a groom.
The groom to be.
Yeah. He divorced his wife and stole my wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's a real scoundrel. He wasn't my real friend. He was just trying to get close to my wife.
Yeah. You're lucky that you probably put something in that bone marrow to, that's probably why he was pushing on you so much.
Yeah.
Something to make you infertile so your wife would leave you.
Well.
Well, he didn't need to.
Number 9.
Uh-huh.
I think you can get brain parasites if you eat too much meat.
Tim.
What?
Well, I mean, that's like an edge case. That's not... You don't hear about that often, like, oh...
Yeah, but how come when we were roommates and I had a neti pot, you were like, oh, you could get the brain parasites from that.
Yeah,
because you read a goddamn article, but I'm not allowed to cite an actual news event about
because
brain
when
parasites.
when I'm eating dinner or something, I'm not shoving it up my brain like you are with a neti pot.
You're not shoving it up your brain. Do you know how freaking sinuses work?
Yeah, they go up to your brain through the tubes, through the canals, and then come
Do you
back
think
out.
you could touch...
How do you think the parasite gets so close to your brain with the neti pot?
All right, ear, nose, and throat, man. Anything that goes down your throat might as well be going in your nose.
So then why does it make it worse?
It's all connected.
If it's a neti pot. I
Your
know
brain,
it's connected. That's
your
how...
nose, your butt,
No,
your mouth.
butt's not connected to your nose. I mean, ultimately it is, but...
I beg to differ, Tom.
There's
Are
not...
you a doctor? Are you a medical
yes,
doctor?
Tim,
You
I've
are a
told you
medical
many
doctor, yeah.
times. I mean, you can see all my degrees up on the wall.
It's true, and you are wearing a stethoscope around your neck.
Yeah. Listening to my own heartbeat while I do this.
It's adorable.
So, did you ever have one of those like kid stethoscopes when you were a kid? Like the Fisher-Price ones?
I must have. They like worked a little bit, right?
Yeah, they did. They were
shouldn't-
pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're trying not to encourage kids to play doctor, don't give them doctor's tools.
Kids playing doctor, they're just going to do what they're going to do.
No, I think you should be like, nah, don't do that.
Do it away from me.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully there's not an adult present, or else the adult would put a stop to it.
Yeah. So in your mind, hopefully there is an adult present.
And they can put a stop to it, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Childishness. Number 10 in the top 10 list.
Okay.
Number 1. Reason to become a vegetarian.
Yes.
You get a big dong, like
big dong.
Tommy Lee.
Wow.
That's why Pamela Anderson was like, well,
Was Tommy Lee a vegetarian?
I guess.
Yeah, well, guess the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
And in this case, the pudding's...
Steering the boat with his wiener.
I always forget that was part of the video, that he steered the boat with his wiener.
Yeah.
Huh. What a guy. He really could do it all. Drum, steer a boat with his wiener. I can barely steer a boat with my hands.
Yeah. And you can't drum.
No. Yeah, so that's two things he's got on me.
Yeah. He's only got one thing on me, but one of them is really impressive.
Yeah, I'm glad when I bumped into him the other week that he challenged me to a drum off or a boat steering contest. Either one, I would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
And he would have been right to call me to do either because, I bumped into him.
Yeah, here's how the boat steering contest would have happened. It would have gone down. You both would have been steering with your hands.
Right.
And he presumably is really good at steering a boat with his hands, too.
Right. Well, maybe he's not. Maybe it's the only way. Maybe it's just like, this is the way I learned.
Oh, maybe the two of you are like struggling, and he's just like, "Burr, burr, 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 burr," and like he eats spinach, and then his wiener comes out and he steers the boat with it, and he wins the contest.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's drumming.
Pamela Anderson runs up to him and goes, "Oh, Tommy."
I thought you were going to say that, he's drumming. And then it's like, well, Tommy Lee's drumming. Who's steering the boat? And then he's like, don't worry, I got that covered too. And he's, steering it with his wiener.
Yeah, we discussed that. I'm surprised you haven't made fun of me yet, Tom.
No, because I don't think being a vegetarian's a bad thing.
There was a time in your life when you did, though.
Yeah, there was a time in my life when I thought everything was bad.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to eat less meat. I don't like thinking about it. Animal. Like I try very hard not to eat pork. I think I don't have the personal constitution to completely cut meat out.
Right.
Plus, I really hate chicken. So
you hate chickens?
Yeah.
Why?
If I have to explain to him, then I don't know why we even do this.
Because a chicken kissed your sister?
I don't hate chickens. I don't hate chickens, but I don't really care about them.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that...
I'd still like the chicken to have a nice life before I eat it.
Yeah, it's true. That's fine. I mean, they don't. None of them do. But it's fine. Like, I'm not going to be one of those guys that's like, ugh.
Right.
But I do know that, like, you probably eat pork pretty frequently. I remember one time recently you were like, I'm not going to eat red meat anymore. You eat red meat constantly.
I don't
Tom.
eat it constantly.
It's bad for you, Tom.
I know it's bad for me.
It's bad for you.
Yeah. No, and cows are nice, so I don't want to eat them.
You're going to go to hell.
I'm not going to go to hell.
Cows aren't nice. Look, you cannot want cows and chickens and pigs and stuff to suffer. Turkeys. And, like, also not like
I've already gone on the record. I don't care about
turkeys so much. But we made them this way. Mm-hmm. We went against God's will. We bred them into monsters, and then we're like, they're monsters. We might as well eat them.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to eat anything, eat monsters. So now you're against eating monsters?
Yeah, monsters are gross, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat a monster.
I don't know. Maybe it tastes like a human. You get salmonella from a monster?
All right, let's solve a problem.
Like Gila monster.
I would not eat one of those things. They don't get me. Oh, I'm thinking of kimono dragons.
A Gila monster we'd eat.
Yeah.
Fry them up. Let's solve a problem. Hello, and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems. My name is Tim.
I'm Tom.
And we're going to solve a problem. Tom!
Mm-hmm.
This week...
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us at completeguideeverything@gmail.com.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say this problem comes to us from a boy named Sean.
Okay. Can we use his name?
Sure. Hi, Tim and Tom.
Uh-huh.
I have a short and simple problem for you. A guy at work...
I'm short and simple.
Tom...
What? It'd be a pretty clever email.
It would be. For a short and simple man.
Yeah.
I have a short and simple problem for you. A guy at work wears too much cologne.
Oof.
He shares the same room as me, and it is unbearable. Without exaggeration, I can tell whether he has arrived at the office before me by the smell of the office entryway. Mm-hmm. My olfactory nerves can only take so much, and I need you guys to help me figure a way out of this situation. Thank you, Sean. P.S. Feel free to use my name. I doubt he listens to the show, but even if he does, I don't care. I'm at my wit's end. First of all, recommend a show, a podcast. You're like, I love this podcast.
Yeah, you should check it out.
And then he'll listen to it, and then he'll hear this.
Now, where did Sean get these old factory senses?
He works at the old factory.
Oh, okay. He works at the old factory with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't own cologne. I've thought about every once in a while. There was like a guy sitting next to me on the subway yesterday. I was like, this guy smells pretty good.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, I'm tempted to be like, yeah, this guy smells great. Like
I have a bottle of cologne I got in like 2007 as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe once a year, I'll spray it on a little bit, and I always get compliments, like of the variety of like, "Oh, Tim, you don't smell like shit today."
Well, you smell like shit, but a little
but covered up by something a little classier than shit.
No, I had like a bottle of cologne that was like given to me as like a 14th birthday present or whatever.
2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago. I think it was Tommy Hilfiger cologne, and that I'm sure that's evaporated by now. I probably can't use that anymore.
Probably can't eat that anymore.
So far all this problem's made me think is I should get some cologne.
Yeah, well, that's wrong because the cologne is a bad thing. Because people wear too much cologne.
Yeah.
Do you think? Here's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get a man to change his habits.
His cologning ways.
Yeah. Every day you need to figure out a way to wash the cologne off before he gets into the building.
No, I don't think you can wash the cologne off of him.
Yeah.
So some kind of like a bucket of water situation?
Yeah, or a hose.
Right.
Or a busted... Like, maybe you have to come up with, like, a different way every day to soak the guy before he comes in the office.
Yeah. Yeah, make him take a bath in tomato
paste.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you trick somebody into getting into a tomato paste bath every single day?
It's going to be tough.
You can mess with the plumbing in his house, I guess.
Oh, and put tomato paste in there?
Yeah, but I guess you put on the cologne after your shower.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to help. Plus, Tim, to be honest, all these ideas aren't going to work if this guy brings the cologne to the office.
That's true.
Presumably, only one or two times are you going to be able to get this guy completely drenched before he's like, you know what? I seem to be getting drenched at the office a lot lately. I better start bringing my cologne there.
Yeah. There should be...
I want to know how old this person is.
Oh, I'm going to say he's 24 to 26.
No, not Sean.
Yeah, no, I think...
Oh, the other guy. If the other guy's younger than this guy, then you're 100% in the right to pull him aside and be like, hey, ease off the cologne a little bit.
Yeah.
If it's an older guy, then he's going to be like, you millennials don't know anything about how to smell good. You smell like patchouli oil.
Do you know my theory about boys and young men?
No, Tim, I don't know your theory about boys and young men.
I think at 11 years old, you put a boy in a closet, you don't let him out until he's 25.
Well, I've heard your idea of raising children like veal.
Yeah, that's tiny kids.
For a guy who is if you want a tiny child.
No. Just like kids should know about fried food and Snapchat. Raise them in a box like a veal for a couple of years.
You're Tim the inhumane vegetarian.